Okay, Silveus here again for another Tibia introductory Let's Play. This time I've got a two-parter. Instead of a full hunt, I'm going to explore the plains of Havoc a little bit. But before I do that, we're going to do the Tibia Walk of Shame, as it's called, which is where you go to rebuy your blessings. Blessings are something you buy in Tibia. There's 5 of them. Their cost is scaled to a certain extent to your level. Unless you get them when you're really low level, they're moderately expensive. They're basically the kind of thing you don't want to have to buy unless you need to. They decrease the odds of you dropping equipment when you die, and they also decrease the odds of, or they decrease the amount of experience points and skill points you lose when you die. And if you have all 5 of them, they make it so that your chance of dropping any items when you die is 0, and you also maintain your backpack. Otherwise, I think you always lose your backpack. I'm not 100% certain on the mechanics of how all this works. Anyway, point is that when I went back to the Muggy Plains to continue some hunting there, I done did die. Yeah, it happened. So, I get to do the Walk of Shame, which is where you go rebuy all of your blessings after you screw up and die. So I need to withdraw money, which I'm not even sure if I have enough for. So I'm just going to withdraw nearly all of my money. I need to hit withdrawal. Withdrawal. Now I'll withdraw 60,000. Yeah, and then that leaves me with a balance of 233 gold is left in my account. Yeah, there's a good chance that the 6,000 I just pulled, 60,000 isn't going to be enough. So anyway, the order that you do the blessings in, by the way, non-premium players can't get all of the blessings. They can only get 4 of them, which means they lose the all-important final part. So yeah, the way you would go about doing this is different depending on where you start. I'm starting in Anchorman, which isn't particularly a great place. So I'm going to boat to Dyrachia just like I did last time. And we're going to Magic Carpet to Edron, I guess will be my first step. We'll start in Edron. So I appear to be encountering lag. Hi, Edron. Yes. Edron is on an island by itself. It's the only major city here. I think it's northeast of the main continent. I just took the magic carpet to here. Let's see if I can actually... Okay, yeah. Edron is in fact northeast of the main continent. I believe it's a little bit north of the Darman continent. Yep, it is a little bit north of the Darman continent. So from the magic carpet that I just flew from Dyrachia to here with, I'm going to take the boat to another small island called Cormea that's off the coast of Edron. Cormea, yes. There is a land path, sort of, to Cormea, but you have to go through some tunnels under the ocean, and that takes way longer than just taking a boat. And then from Cormea, I'm going to go to the Sage Eremos Island. And this is the Sage Eremos Island. It's super, super tiny. This is the entire island. It's basically just his house. And this guy gives me the Blessing of Solitude, which is 13,400 gold. Yes, I would like that. And then he'll teleport me back to Cormea, and then I'll boat from Cormea. Hi, Cormea. To... Oh, I don't want to go to Cormea. I want to go back to Edron. Yeah, so then I'm back to Edron. Yes. Alright. So, we've done the Edron part. We're going to now... I don't know why I got off the boat. We're going to boat from Edron to Face now. Hi, Face. Yes. Alright, Face is the most popular town for non-premium players who are relatively low levels. I think it was the original city in Tibia. It's like the most common one. You'll see a lot of low-level players in it and whatnot. When you first come to Thais, you can kind of see my map here. You'd be in this temple. The Knights Guild and the Druids Guild are down this way. You know what? I'll show you to them real quick, just as a tour. This is the magic shop right here. This is the gem shop. This is the Knights Guild. Thais has a northeast, or a north, an east, a south, and a west exit. Whoops, I walked right past it. I'm an idiot. This is the Druids Guild, I believe. Yep, Druids Guild right here. Druidy! So yeah, this is one of the exits out of Thais right here, and so on. So we're gonna head back. By the way, anybody who's, you know, seen Let's Plays before of Tibia or has played Tibia, most of what I'm saying right now is pointless. Anyway, this right here, this building, is the tavern. You can buy food, and this is like the general store, backpacks, shovels, ropes, that kind of stuff. And this is the weapon shop where you sell your more stabby loot. And then this is the depot, where you can store your own personalized stuff and yada yada yada. I'm going to be exiting Thais. Well, I'll show you this is the Paladins Guild right here. Over here is the bank, and in an update a while back, they put bank tellers in all of the major cities inside of the depots. So nobody really goes to the bank anymore. And this is the Sorcerer's Guild. These little floor tiles here prevent anybody who isn't a sorcerer from going in. So it's exclusive Sorcerer Guild stuff. There's actually all these buildings here that don't have NPCs, like this one, has an NPC. These don't have NPCs, you'll notice. In Tibia, you can rent houses. So nobody owns this house. It's Beach Apartments, flat 11. Somebody, I guess, owns this house because they're sleeping in their bed. Draken Shizuni. So yeah, most of the houses in Tibia can be rented on a monthly basis. You need to win an auction on them if anybody else wants to compete with you. The auction takes 7 days. No way to speed that up, which is kind of a pain. Nothing you can do about it, though. So anyway, though, that's that. The reason why I brought that up was because there's houses actually inside of the Sorcerer's Guild that only sorcerers can get to. So if you're looking for something exclusive, I suppose, you could buy them there. As far as I know, only Thais' Sorcerer's Guild has a feature like that, where only sorcerers can get in. So now I'm walking to the White Flower Temple, I believe it's called, something like that, which is where I will get my second blessing, the Blessing of Spirituality or something like that. Spiritual? I don't know. This is why it's the Walk of Shame, by the way. I'm gonna eat these blueberries. Blueberries! Yeah, it's called the Walk of Shame because all of the blessing spots are annoying spots. I'm also going to deviate because, as I found out last time, there's actually a Banshee spawn, which are kind of a cool monster, underneath the temple. So I'm gonna stop and go kill them. Kill that. There's only one Banshee there. And I killed that wolf just so I could get some meat out of its corpse to eat. So this is the temple. Temple, temple, temple. Hi, North Spiritual. Yes. I will get... Alright, that's 2 of the blessings down. Now we'll go into this nice little basement. And you'll see this little pile of dirt here. Use a pickaxe on it. Use a pickaxe and not an obsidian knife, and you can open it up. So there's a couple of monsters in here, nothing too dangerous. I'm going the wrong way, I think. Yeah, I was going the wrong way. Alright, so we'll pop up around here. There's actually 2 ways to get to where this Banshee is, so I'll show you both of them. One of them I think you have to be higher than level 25, yeah. This is a Door of Experience for level 25. You can't open it unless you're level 25. Nobody else can open it for you either. If somebody else tries to open it for you, when they get out of it, it'll just close on them. And then there's a Banshee down here. Banshees are powerful. Very powerful. They heal. They'll run away when they get on low HP. That attack does oodles of damage when they sing. Oh, and they also paralyze you, so you have a hard time running away. So I got a candlestick and a very minor amount of gold. Hurrah. This is where the Banshee would live. You cannot, like, farm this Banshee spawn, because the Banshees respawn, I think, every, like, 25 minutes or something absurd like that. You go through here. Alright, right now, if you'll see those little sparks hitting me, that means something's attacking me, but it's not getting through my armor. That guy I killed was a stalker, and there's another stalker in this room, and they turn invisible. Now I can bypass that by doing this. So this is the other way you could get in. You could come through here. You have to come up this little ledge. You can stack barrels, or you can just use the levitate spell to get up there. I'm going to just go back through the tunnel because it's way faster to get back. Actually, you know what? No. I'll show you the walk path. In case anybody really wants to go there and try to fight that Banshee. By the way, that level 25 door, you should definitely probably not try to fight a Banshee at level 25. You might be able to do it, but there's a good chance it'll just kill you. And even if you could kill it without it killing you, you would almost certainly just waste supplies on it. Because, I mean, even in my case, I'm using, like, the best crossbow I can get right now, and the best bolts I can get, and it still took me a decent amount of time to kill it. And the only reason why it didn't deal any damage to me was because I kept it at range, and then when I ran out of, like, room to run away from it, I was able to just kind of keep it into low enough HP that it was running away from me until it died. Some Minotaurs that I guess I'll kill. So yeah, if you were trying to run it like I just did, you would need to be able to deal enough damage to it to get it to run from you before, oh good, I successfully skinned a Minotaur and got a Minotaur skin. Before it gets close to you. Same with if you were a mage. If you were a knight, you could just get up close to it and smack it, but that sing attack does tons of damage, and you don't want to let that hit you. If you can help it. So yeah, even though it's behind a level 25 door, it's definitely not a level 25 enemy. And I'm pretty sure, like, around level 25 knights could survive at least one hit from it, and then if they could heal up fully fast enough, they would be fine. But, a level 25 paladin or a level 25 mage could just really easily die in one shot from the Banshee. So, you could try it, though. I know in the past when I was a mage, the first time I encountered a Banshee, it definitely killed me immediately, and I was like shocked and surprised by the fact. It's actually kind of funny. Me and my friend were exploring a place that we've never been to, and we ran into the Banshee, so we're both like, oh crap, it's a Banshee, right? So like neither one of us really knows how we should deal with this problem. So we're both mages, so we both start running away from it while like shooting, and it paralyzes my friend. So I hit it with my most powerful attack. My friend's all slow, so I don't want it to kill him, and he's a lower level than me. So I get in front of the Banshee, and I'm trying to like block it with my own body so that it can't get to him. So we did enough damage to it that it starts running away, and you know, I had to use some like expensive magic runes on it. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Since I already wasted some money on this, I might as well keep it up. We're killing this thing. So as it starts to run, I chase it, and then it heals itself, turns around and does its little sing attack, and I just died immediately. It was just like, sing, boom, dead. Wiped my HP out in one go. And I'm pretty sure I had, like, if not full HP, close to full HP. This is technically the western exit of Thace, even though it's basically the southwest. Alright, well, I picked up the Thace blessing, and I picked up the Edron Eremo blessing. So we're going to boat from Thace to Carlin, and that's where the next blessing is. And then we're going to walk from Carlin to a city called Abdendril, which is the city of the elves. And then we're going to walk from that to Khazad-dûn, which is the last place. Carlin? Yes. This is Carlin. It's a former colony of Thace, and I think it like rebelled or something like that. I don't exactly remember. Carlin, though, is ruled by women. Queen something. I think her name's Eleanor. It's actually a kind of pretty town, but it's sort of pointless. Shopkeepers are here. This is like the main shop street. This is the armor lady, the food guy. Depot's right here. Temple's a little bit back down that road. I walked past it. Weapons shop lady. I don't remember exactly where all the guilds are in Carlin because I don't usually stay here. The trainers, and that's the castle over that way. NPC walked right in front of me. That's kind of annoying. Okay. It's a crowbar. Crowbars are used for some quests. They're expensive, only used very rarely, and weigh a lot, and can only be purchased in stupid, annoying spots. So I think this is where I get the blessing called the Embrace of Tibia. I think. Hi. Embrace. Was that the word I wanted? Yes. Alright, I got the Embrace of Tibia. Notably, I'm not going to have enough money, which is hilarious. Each one of these blessings is costing me 13,000, and I've got just under 20,000. So, from Carlin, we're gonna walk. I'm trying to get to the road so that we can actually take the road path instead of the just random walk through the trees path. I'm not actually going to enter Abdendril. Abdendril's kind of annoying, and I don't really like the city. And this is a dungeon-esque place, by the way. There's no real reason for me to go into Abdendril because the place I need to go is just on the outskirts of Abdendril. So we're just going to walk down this road. To make it go faster, I'm going to cast Haste. Uses a little bit of magic, makes me walk faster. One of the interesting things about Tibia is different land tiles actually like control your speed. So staying on the road will actually make me go a little bit faster, as opposed to grass or other things like that. To the south of me, see this little like red hill area? This is one of the like well-known areas in Tibia. By the way, Tibia has a weird naming sense where it uses a lot of body parts. So these hills are called the Femur Hills. It's basically, I think, one of only 2 goblin spawns in the entire game. The Femur Hills are just covered in goblins. They're relatively low, weak enemies, as goblins usually are in games. There's a couple of like Cyclops in there, and there's a couple of other things inside of the Femur Hill, but for the most part it's all goblins. There is one part where there's a type of monster called Hunters, who use bows and hit like actually legitimately hard at range, so they're kind of a risk to low-level characters. Also, low-level characters, since your speed increases in Tibia when you level up, so you may think I'm going slow. Play this game as a level 8, and you'll definitely think you're slow. Actually, I want to check something out real quick. I've heard that this mine has different monsters in it depending on like different sets of circumstances. So I'm kind of interested in what's in here right now. Leaf golems, apparently. Interesting. Oh, I don't know what that was. Yeah, this place is apparently called like the Forsaken Mines or something like that. Come to think of it, this is actually not a place I want to be in. Because I think there's a type of, yeah, that thing right there is, that attack drastically lowers my distance fighting skill. So we're just going to leave at this point. Yeah, this place is called like the Forsaken Mine. Sometimes you get leaf golems and those planty people. Sometimes it's filled with cyclopses. I think it can also be filled with like minotaurs. And they can also be filled with these things called lost dwarves, who are like more powerful than those lizard things I was fighting. So cyclopses, those little leafy people I was just fighting. Oh, I just walked them the wrong way. I needed to be over here, not over here. So anyway, yeah, those leafy golems I was just fighting. There could be cyclopses, and I think normal minotaurs are all things that you should be fighting when you're like level 20. And then those dwarves are things that you should be fighting when you're like level 100. So if you happen to explore that and find that cave while you were like, let's say level 25 or something like that, and be like, oh, sick, like a Cyclops spawn, I'll hunt here. And then you come back like 2 days later and it's just filled with super dwarves that kill you in one hit. Alright, this is where I get the Blessing of the Suns. Hi, Suns, yes. Alright. I'm gonna eat those blueberries. Blueberries! That's actually one of the annoyingly but cool things about Tibia. This, I believe... Yeah, this is a guild hall. So it's actually like a giant building that you can get if you have a guild. You rent it like you would just a normal house. Anyway, as I was saying, one of the things that's semi-annoying about Tibia is it has a tendency to, like, put legitimately dangerous things next to places where you really shouldn't be finding legitimately dangerous things. So, like, you'll be hunting goblins in a goblin cave, for instance, and then you'll go down a staircase, and instead of more goblins, as one would expect, it'll be like 3 dragons. And 1 dragon can kill a low-level character in 1 hit. 3 dragons are something that I, at level 86 or 87, whatever level I am right now, don't want on me if I can help it. I can survive 3 dragons on me. I just take a whole bunch of damage and it requires heals. If you're level 25 or something like that and there's suddenly 3 dragons on you, if you don't immediately run away, you're just going to die. There's no way you can handle that situation without having super awesome equipment and spending a ton of money, I should say. Alright, so we're going to go to Khazad-dûm. I have to pit stop at the depot in Khazad-dûm for 2 reasons. For one, I don't have enough money to get the blessing here. Let's see what level this guy is. He's level 24. His class is a druid. I'm a paladin, but if you look at me, you'll see royal paladin. Level 20, you can spend 20,000 gold and get yourself a promotion, which gives you access to some spells that probably you'll never use. And also gives you access to some stuff that I don't remember. Hold on. Oh yeah, it gives you heightened mana and health regen based off of your class and stuff like that. The only reason you would not have that is because you couldn't afford the 20,000, or because you're not a premium player. Only premium players can get that. Oh, I should have sold all these belts while I was in Thace. That's my bad. So this is my mailbox, and there's a market in Tibia where you can, place like orders. So I placed orders for all these items, and when somebody goes to sell and they go into the marketplace, they see my sell order, and then they just click on it, and then bam, the stuff gets mailed to me. And the reason why I'm doing this is so that I have enough money to get that last blessing. And my carrying capacity is currently filled, so now I'm dropping crap. Okay, I mean, I am carrying a whole bunch of expensive stuff, so I guess there's kind of no reason for me to be doing this right now. Yeah, I am carrying a whole... I forgot to drop my loot off from my last hunt. So I'm going to sell my Draconata. And I'm going to sell that for 9,000. I'm going to sell my Zawin legs, which I looted, for 13,000. And I'm going to sell my 2 sets of Zawin boots. Alright, and suddenly I have a whole bunch more money. Come to think of it, suddenly there's really no reason for me to be selling all this stuff, but I don't often go to whatchamacallit, so I'm just gonna deal with it. I'm gonna make you people suffer through it. Ugh. Pooh. You know what? Alright, I'm not going to, because I'm going to have to do true trips anyway, and I'm not going to make you guys suffer through 2 of the cell trips. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pause real quick. I'm going to pause the recording, and then I'll do the cell trips while you guys can't watch. Okay, I'm back now with boatloads of money Remember, before when I left, I had 223 gold in my bank account. Now I have 230,556. Withdrawal. And I'm going to withdraw 20,000. Yeah. These are crystal coins, by the way. One of them is worth 10,000. And then also, to carry the stuff more effectively, I put all of my equipment inside of my depot, because that way I got more carrying capacity. So now I gotta pull all that out. Which is kind of a pain, to be honest. Alright. And the main reason why I came here was for this little egg, called a phoenix egg. You get it from a quest. Oh, and I think you can get it from like 2 other spots too, actually. There is not a monster in Tibia called a... oh, jeez. I, like, just cannot remember. There we go. This is the one I wanted. There's not a monster in Tibia called a phoenix. So anyway. The Khazad-dûn blessing is the most annoying. The phoenix egg will actually give me a 10% discount on the price. I still wouldn't have been able to afford it without selling all that stuff, though. What makes the Khaz one so annoying... By the way, Khaz is short for Khazad-dûn. Ab is short from Abdendril. And I think all the other... Ankh is short for Anchorman. Darashia is usually just called Darashia, but sometimes called Dara. Port Hope is sometimes abbreviated as PH. Liberty Bay is LB. That's another city, by the way. Anyway, long story short. Phoenix is the blessing I want here. Yes. Alright, yeah. So the annoying part about the Khaz one is that it's 2 different NPCs that you have to talk to, and in a specific order. So you have to talk to this guy first. He just gives you the first half of the blessing. You don't pay him. He just gives it to you, and then you go to the second guy, and you pay him. That guy was like the Geomancer or something like that, and now I need to go to the Pyromancer of Khazad-dûn, which is all the way up the stupidly long hallway. So we walk all the way up here, because I have nothing better to do with my time. Just reorganizing my stuff a little bit. And making this a little bit smaller. Alright, and then the other annoying part is it's behind this wall of fire that you have to walk through. And as you can see, fire damages you when you step in it. And then you get the second half from this guy. Phoenix. As the Phoenix smiles upon you, I'll grant you the blessing for a reduced amount. Yes. Alright. And now I get to walk back through the fire. My friend did this for the first time, and accidentally went to the other blessing guy first. Or I'm sorry, went to this guy first, realized he went to the wrong one, went back to the other guy. And now like I'm halfway dead from fire damage. So he walked all the way down, realized it was the wrong one, walked through the fire, talked to the other guy, came back, walked through the fire, and then didn't have enough money and then had to walk through the fire again. Go back to the depot, get more money, walk back, go through the fire, rinse and repeat multiple times. Alright. That was all of the blessings for Khazad-dûn. Or all of the blessings. So I now have all 5 blessings. If I screw up and die again, I will not drop my crap on the floor. It was actually really funny when I died, by the way. I was just like fighting the monsters like I would normally. And then just suddenly, I just died. Like, I don't even know what happened. It wasn't like I was like, oh my god, I'm taking way too much damage. I'm not going to heal in time. I didn't run out of mana for heals. I didn't push the wrong buttons. I didn't get overwhelmed. I legitimately was just like, la da da, and boom, dead. I don't know what happened. Like, at no point was I like, oh man, I'm about to die. I thought I had everything under control, and then just bam, I died. Alright, and since I'm in the area, I'm going to go explore the Plains of Havoc. Plains of Havoc are pretty expansive. There's a whole bunch of stuff inside of it. I'm just going to kind of explore the surface of one specific area for a little bit. The Plains of Havoc are noteworthy because they're incredibly dangerous, and they're also on the surface of Tibia. Before, in one of my other Let's Plays, I mentioned that there was like anti-luring measures that were implemented. Those were implemented because Port Hope has a monster called Giant Spiders on it that are like really kind of hard to kill at low levels. Well, they're kind of impossible to kill at low levels. They can haste, which makes them really fast. They hit really hard in melee damage, and they're immune to fire. At least they were back then. Things are different now. I think they're actually weak against fire nowadays. Anyway, the reason why I bring Giant Spiders up is because there's a whole bunch of them in Port Hope, and they're just on the surface. So people would lure Giant Spiders from... I'm sorry, the Plains of Havoc, not Port Hope. They would lure Giant Spiders from the Plains of Havoc, like, into the middle of Face. So you would, like, log on in Face, or, you know, go back to Face after a hunt and be like, oh, I need to sell, like, to the shopkeeper. And then there would just be a Giant Spider in the middle of the road in Face. I'm not going to kill him, because he's a waste of my arrows, my bolts. So yeah, it was a kind of a funny problem. Presumably not super funny if you were killed by it. And, you know, sometimes there'd be like 4 or 5 of them, plus like maybe a dragon. Anyway, so yeah, the Plains of Havoc have a, like, a spot in Tibia lore, almost. And I mean, in the actual, like, storyline that exists for Tibia, they have some, like, important concepts. That is not a giant spider. That is just a tarantula. That's like a baby giant spider. One of the annoying things about the Plains of Havoc is because it's kind of like the only spot you can reliably find giant spiders in free areas. They're very often hunted. That is a giant spider. You'll also note that that is legitimately a giant spider. Like, it is a really big thing. And it just hasted. I'm pretty sure I'm still faster than it, even while it's hasted. And now it's dead. But I definitely do not want to just let giant spiders hit me if I can help it. So yeah, as I was saying though, the Plains of Havoc is often hunted by people. So a lot of times you'll come here and you'll just find a bunch of dead giant spiders and like 4 different people hunting them. On a side note, giant spiders summon poison spiders, which is relevant, and I'll explain that in a second. For 2 reasons. The first one, though, is when you see poison spiders, there's a good chance that there could be a giant spider nearby also. Not always, but sometimes. So that is something you kind of want to keep in mind. Depending on if you're at a spot where you know there can be giant spiders, be cautious if you suddenly start seeing poison spiders. That's what I'm getting at. However, when you kill the giant spider, the poison spider will disappear. So those ones I just blew up back there were not actually summoned ones. That's true of any monster that summons things. If a monster summons things, when the main dies, the summons go away. See, now I think that little... Okay, maybe that one was not a summon. Interesting. Summons also don't give experience points. That's another way you can tell. So if you do start seeing poison spiders and you just kill one of them, and it doesn't give you experience points, there's a giant spider nearby, is what that means. If you can see a poison spider and it's not going towards you, that means it's probably a summon, and the giant spider is further away than the poison spider, and you're not in targeting range to the giant spider. So that's another semi-useful factoid. Giant spiders also shoot poison fields on the ground, which are kind of annoying. I'm surprised nobody's hunting here right now. This is actually really rare. The other reason why the actual summons of the poison spiders are relevant is if you're a knight. In Tibia, you can block monsters if you have a shield, or if you have a 2-handed weapon. I can't block monsters with a crossbow. However, if you have a shield, you can only block 2 monsters at a time. Any other monsters besides the first 2 will just hit your armor, essentially. And it actually works like... There's a concept of like turns in Tibia, and I believe a turn is every like 2 seconds. So it's only the first 2 hits of damage in a turn are blocked. So even if you had like 2 tarantulas on you, but then you take 1 step back or something like that, the like sequence of attacks resets. So it's actually hard to tell like what is attacking and when. I definitely should not have just let him hit me, because they do uber poison. When you're wielding a 2-handed weapon, you can only block 1 monster at a time. So it's only 1... I thought I could loop around those, and I can't. That's a hunter, by the way. Okay, so real quick, the reason why I mentioned the blocking thing is because those summoned giant spiders will take up your blocking, or your shielding, as it's sometimes called by some people. So by summoning those, like, basically weak pieces of crap, they still can break through your shielding and allow the giant spider to deal its full damage to you, which is why it's dangerous. And then the interesting thing about hunters is hunters, because they're a humanoid-looking enemy, and originally in Tibia, I don't know if it's still this way or not. Originally, though, in Tibia, like, humanoid enemies were semi-rare. So a lot of times when people would run into their first hunter, because I mentioned this before, Tibia has, like, player-versus-player combat, people would think that the hunter was a PKer, or a player killer, and would freak out, be like, oh my god, I'm getting PK'd! So they would, like, yell and ask their friends for help, and then they would get killed by the hunter, and be like, oh my god, some jerk killed me! But it was actually just a monster. Ooh, got a two-handed sword. Those are semi-valuable. I'm kind of out of the level range where two-handed swords are actually valuable to me, but I still have the mentality of, ooh, two-handed sword. Because I've never matured as a Tibia player. It's funny though, because like in the past, giant spiders were like super threat to me, and the idea of me just kind of casually killing them without even taking real damage is like absurd to me. Sometimes I still think to myself like, you know, there was a point in time where I was just like super weak and suddenly I'm not. Now, okay, that doesn't appear to be a hole that I can go down. Oh wait, maybe it is. Alright. This is one of the things you should probably not do in Tibia, but I'm going to do it. Is go down a hole when you don't know what's inside of it. Okay. Interesting. Because sometimes you can't rope back up holes, so like you shouldn't always just assume that like, oh, if going down here is a disaster, I can just go back up. And also, lots of times you can just go down a hole and be like, oh, what's the worst that could be down there? And it could be like 4 giant spiders in a very small room, and then they'll all just smash you in the face and kill you. I actually died in Anchorman to a trick, which made it even more annoying that it happened to me. But yeah, I died to a trick where a guy in the Anchorman desert, you can use a shovel on the ground and try to pop up. They're called like the ancient tombs. They're dungeons. So they're actually hidden in the sand, and you have to shovel the sand like repeatedly sometimes to get them, to find them. And also sometimes instead of the dungeons are always in the exact same spot. Sometimes you can get scarab coins, and sometimes you can dig up scarabs. So what the guy did was he dug up scarabs and then ran with the scarab chasing him to where the dungeon is. Got the scarab to stand on the exact spot where the dungeon hole was. And then dug that hole so that the hole would pop up underneath the scarab would fall into the spot. And the reason why this was like a problem to me was because it was a really, really tiny room down there, just a 2x2 room. So when you would go down the hole, all of the tiles, if they had a monster in them, they could target you at once. And what he did was he spent like 2 hours doing it and got like 40 scarabs down there. And remember how I said you can only block 2 monsters at once? Yeah, so when I jumped down the hole, because the guy lied to me and told me he had died down into the cave and that he needed me to help him get his stuff back. So I was like, yeah, sure, alright, I'll help this guy. So I jumped down there, and 40 scarabs all just attacked me at once, and I could only block the first 2, so the other 38 just, you know, killed me. Yeah, dragons on the surface, those would get lured too. Like, I just killed a dragon while a second dragon was nearby and didn't take any damage. Like, that's sort of absurd. Oh, that time I took some damage. So, originally this was intended to just be a tour of the Plains of Havoc. But I might legitimately hunt those giant spiders since nobody else is here. And ooh, another dragon. I actually have a task to kill giant spiders. I think I have to kill like 500 of them or something like that. I don't think I've killed anywhere near that amount. I'm not going to pick up that broadsword. Let's not walk through the fire. I'm not going to go back and skin that one, but I forgot I can skin dragons. So I'm going to skin these two and just forget about the other one. Nothing. Nothing. By the way, Orc Berserkers are another funny kill like noob monster because they're fast and they hit really, really hard. So a lot of times, like low-level characters will just get massacred by Orc Berserkers because they don't realize how much of a threat they actually are. And I'm also going to do the bad idea of popping down this hole and seeing what's there. Okay, it's a giant spider in a small room. I'm not going to fight the giant spider in a small room. I do just want to go up here, though. I'm trying not to waste my bolts because I don't have a lot of them left. In fact, I have 101. This is a safety zone inside of the Plains of Havoc. So if you're ever in the Plains of Havoc and you're dying horrifically, you can run here. Come on, get off me. I gotta go up and get that black pearl. Alright, here's how we're gonna handle this, right? Bam! Handled. Just going to kill the other giant spiders. I'm regretting my decision to not buy more crossbow bolts before I came here. Especially since the crossbow bolts I use, I'm pretty sure can only be purchased in premium areas. So I will actually need to go to another town to get more crossbow bolts. Bam. Wasps can actually drop an item called a honeycomb, which is like legit semi-expensive. So killing wasps isn't entirely a waste of my life. Don't they look creepy? Like those are kind of legitimately creepy. Supposedly, there's not a lot of hunting spots for giant spiders that aren't usually like taken, so I haven't really looked into exactly what a giant spider can drop as loot, but I'm pretty sure they can drop a couple of things that are like semi-decent, but I have never killed one and gotten anything of real value. I know they can drop spider silks, and those are actually decently expensive, and I think they can drop like knight armor, maybe knight legs, time rings I know, and that's basically all that I know of that they can drop. I should probably double check at some point and figure it out for real. I'm really disappointed that I don't have enough bolts. Yeah, I'm gonna have to head back soon. So crazy that like these aren't a giant threat to me anymore. I got another two-handed sword. They will deal like decent damage to me if I let them like get into melee with me, especially since I don't have a shield currently equipped. By the way, the wyvern shoots that wave of, it looks like music notes, like the Banshee did. That will make your character drunk, I think. And when you're drunk, you sometimes, when you go to step, instead of going the way you want to, you just go into a random direction. So, being made drunk while running away from a giant spider would actually be really bad. Drunkenness also comes in various levels. So you're not always the same amount of drunk, and it also lasts varying amounts of time. Drunk is actually kind of an annoying issue. Tibia also allows you, if you so choose, to get yourself drunk. You can, like, go to a tavern and use cups on, like, flasks of alcohol. I'm gonna let him hit me, see how much damage he did. Yeah, okay, so 225. That's an amount of damage that I don't want to take. Oh, and also they poison you. I forgot about that. All those ranged attacks also poison, so... Alright, so now we're gonna leave since I'm down to 48 of my crossbow bolts. Disappointing as it is. Kill the wasp. Oh, more wasps. Jesus. Cyclops. Alright, boom. I'm trying not to waste my bolts, and I'm not doing a terribly good job. I'm like hesitant to just kind of run past everything in case this kind of situation occurs. And like, I definitely do not want to have a horde of monsters chasing me and then have me like run into a dead end. You'll see on my map that I'm walking into like unexplored right now. So like, I don't actually know what I'm potentially running into. And I don't want to have a horde of monsters and then run into a giant spider and then need to like backpedal from the giant spider into the horde of monsters. But it actually looks like it turned out okay. I remember when I first started to play, I came into the Plains of Havoc and I was like following the river. And like specifically somebody had told me not to go into the Plains of Havoc, right? Like I knew it was dangerous. But I figured like if I just follow the river, I won't run into anything too dangerous. Boy, was that not right. The funny thing was though, they drop plate legs for instance. But they also drop steel helmets, which kind of like look the same as plate helmets. I'm sorry, as plate legs. Plate helmets are not a thing. There's like sets of, you know, like stuff. So I'm wearing a Zoan helmet. There's Zoan, oh wow, I've actually never been here. Huh, is this like an easier way to get to nowhere? Is this just a tiny, tiny dead end? I mean, alright, you know what? That's cool. Can I cut? Yeah, I can cut these down because I have my squeezing gear of girl power functions as a machete, but alright, that's cool. There's just nothing there. Alright, so anyway though, yeah, they drop plate helmet, or steel helmets. That's what I'm saying. Like, so Tibia has like armor sets basically. So it's like knight armor, knight legs. There's not a knight helmet. There's not a knight helmet. Plate armor, plate legs. There is a plate shield, but it doesn't have the same like look. So it's not really the same thing. Point is, steel helmet when you're, you know, a really new character is actually like probably the best helmet you'll get without spending a like hefty amount of money. And I hadn't had one yet, and somebody had killed a giant spider, and inside of the giant spider's body was a steel helmet. So I was like, oh, sick, like, I mean, sure, this is something that costs no money, but it's better than what I've got. Oh, sick, right? I'm all, like, excited and everything. So I, like, pick it up, I put it on my new helmet, I throw my old helmet on the floor, because it was a piece of junk, and I'm like, yeah! And the guy who killed the giant spider comes running over with another giant spider, sees me there, realizes I'm a low level, and then runs away so the giant spider will switch targets to me. And the giant spider comes over, kills me, and then I drop my helmet. This is one of my first Tibia experiences. This is the city of Venor. It's a swamp. It's like a really popular city for high levels. I think it's in a good, like, you can boat from Venor to pretty much everywhere. So it's a good like transportation hub city. The buildings look cool, I guess. But the fact that there's these like mini walkways over the swamp makes Venor actually like really obnoxious. Alright. So this is a good enough time. I'm gonna go to another city eventually and buy some more bolts, but here's a good enough time to end this Let's Play. So I thank everybody for tuning in. My little intro to Tibia. If you're intrigued, you can start playing it. I play on both Amera and Olympa. So if you want to play Amera's, I think the original American server, and Olympa is a non-PvP server, so nobody can attack me on Olympa. Amera, though, not the situation. So if you were interested in playing Tibia and maybe you need a little bit of like equipment or money to start you off, you can start a character, leave me either a message on my YouTube channel here, or you can right-click my name. I think I saw a guy here. I can show it to you real quick. Guy. Girl, whatever. You can right-click her and hit Add to VIP, and then when she's on your VIP, she shows up as yellow. You can click her and hit Message. She is a level 17 knight, and I'm going to delete her because I don't want her on my... Can I get rid of her? Remove, there we go. Yeah, so you can just hit on your VIP list, add new VIP, and type in Silveus. And then you can try to see if I pop up online at any given point, or you can just leave a message on my YouTube channel. So, alright, thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite, click on ads if you can see them. I guess everybody has ad block, but whatever. Alright, anyway, have a good night, guys.